In 2013, scientists created the first ever burger made from cultured meat. Since then, funding for it has skyrocketed. And just recently, the USDA and FDA announced they'll be overseeing the production of lab-grown meat so that it can be sold safely to consumers across the country. In other words, it's probably going to make it to our dinner tables very soon. That could be a great thing for the planet. Currently, the world's meat consumption is actually growing, not shrinking. According to Slow Food, which receives funding from the EU, in the second half of the 20th century, global meat consumption increased fivefold and is set to double again by 2050. And meat consumption has been linked to bad environmental effects, including greenhouse gas emissions, deforestation, and even the development of antibiotic-resistant strains of bacteria. Lab-grown meat could also be better for the animals. Right now, our industrial meat is kind of a disgrace. Animals are kept in awful conditions and they're subjected to unfathomable horrors. Sure, there's more humane ways to consume meat. You can argue hunting your own or buying free-range grass-fed meat. But the vast majority of the world's meat comes from animals treated pretty badly. So, switching to lab-grown meat could be a great thing for the planet and for the animals. But the question remains, will anyone want to eat it? It sounds so freaky, eating something grown in a petri dish from animal cells. Currently, the ingredients biochemists use to feed lab-grown meat can be expensive. They're working on finding cheaper ingredients to work with to make it more accessible. And they're also experimenting with ingredients to make it grow faster, all of which just sounds really weird. But even if we're able to get over that weirdness, another question remains, and that is, what will we call it? Even though the industry has now raised hundreds of millions of dollars worth of investments, they still don't know what to call the product. Early options have been lab-grown meat, artificial or synthetic meat, or even clean meat. But the meat industry has pushed back on all of those, saying it shouldn't be called meat at all. One term people are using is lab-produced, cultured protein. But that doesn't sound very appetizing, now does it? Maybe it needs to be something new altogether, like the word spam, that's like totally made up. The only thing we know for sure is that there's a big push to make it happen. Whether or not people will eat it and what they'll end up calling it will be up to the public to decide.